Salam. Today I would like to introduce you to the concept of storytelling in Waldorf early childhood education, and specifically puppet shows. So with the 0 to 7-year-olds, one of the forms of storytelling in Waldorf education is puppet shows. With puppet shows, we will memorize a short story that has repetition in it, because with the repetition, children are able to learn the story better. They can learn new vocabulary, and also we're trying to develop a sense of security within them. And with repetition, they are more likely to build familiarity more quickly than they would if we were constantly changing the story, and if the story had lots of different words in it. So simple stories with repetition, especially for the 0 to 3-year-olds, it helps them with language acquisition, and as I said, with developing a sense of security. And that secure foundation is what we're really focusing on with the younger children, so that they can then build on that and navigate their way in this world confidently. So with puppet shows, we will memorize a story and use simple props. I like to use props that I can find in my children's toy boxes, because 0 to 7 is the age of imitation. And through storytelling, not only am I trying to develop their language skills, but also I want them to become imaginative and creative and be able to imitate the storytelling process. But if I use props that aren't accessible to them, they won't be able to imitate the storytelling process the way that I present it to them, and they may feel like they're failing or they're incapable. So it's not great for their confidence. Most recently, I've been telling my 2-year-old the story of Abraha, because it's the month of Rabiul Awwal, and the prophet was born in this month. Now, why the story of Abraha? Because the year in which that incident took place, where Abraha, the king of Yemen, came to destroy the Kaaba, was called the year of the elephant. And the Holy Prophet was also born in the year of the elephant. Now here's a Kaaba that a friend made for me. However, she made it with her son. So if you don't have a prop that you do require for your storytelling session, for your Waldorf style puppet show, make it with your children, because again, that shows them that they are able to make things as well. So my friend told me this is an old watch box. Just a plain black box that her husband's watch came in, and she bought this yellow tape and stuck it around the box to make a Kaaba. Now the lid doesn't sit on it very well, it goes down. So usually I would put something in here. I actually put my bottle of vitamins because they were tall enough to hold this up. So you're not going out to buy things for your puppet shows. You don't have to spend. You can if you want to. It's nice to have a custom made set sometimes. However, we don't always have a budget for it, and you don't need to go out and spend, £50-60 on a set for a puppet show. You can make things yourself and use things out of a toy box. So that's the Kaaba that we used. I'll see if I can put it there. No, you won't be able to see it. This is another Kaaba that the same friend of mine gave me, a block that she painted black and then stuck these little beads on with her son. So that's a smaller Kaaba that she gave to us. We then have these palm trees, which are characteristic of the Middle Eastern region. There we go, another palm tree. So I use these trees as well in my storytelling session. That's a Muslim lady. And these are just plain peg dolls. You can paint them if you would like to. I might, but I haven't gotten round to it. And here is I use this as the palace. Oops. I use this as Abraha's palace that he was building in Yemen, and I've got more parts to it, but as you can see, if I try to take more things out, they'll probably fall because I don't have a table in front of me. So yes, an important part of Waldorf storytelling puppet shows is having a table in front of you, and I will use a silk cloth on the table. And also, if, for example, sometimes I will have a blue silk, which I don't have with me right now, and I will pin that onto my clothes for the sky. So that can be the sky. And you could have a yellow bit in the blue as well for the sun, and you can pick up the sun like this when you want to show that the sun is shining, or the sky was blue and you can pick up the blue. Anyway, with Islamic storytelling, like the story of Abraha, which is a story from the Quran based on Surah Fil, I adapted the Waldorf the Waldorf puppet show song, and I made it relevant to Quranic stories. So the purpose of this is for me to educate you slightly on what Waldorf puppet shows are, and also I wanted to share the song with you. Allah who sent down the Quran, take me to your storyland, sail me in an ark like Noor, let me walk faithfully with you. Allah who sent down the Quran, take me to your storyland. Thank you for watching, and I hope that will help you put on a Waldorf Islamic puppet show for your children. If you have any questions, you can connect with me on Instagram and ask me questions there. I also have a website, Waldorf with Mariam, and on there I have a detailed post about storytelling with 0 to 7-year-olds, so you can have a look at the different ways of storytelling, because puppet shows is just one of the many ways we tell stories to children in Waldorf settings. Thank you.